Hi, my name is Lucia Vera Cruz from allformoms.com, where I help moms overcome emotional and binge eating and lose weight with our mindset and body coaching program. I often get approached by other moms asking me how can they get in shape if they have no willpower to break their bad habits. And this has motivated me to do today's training video to help those who really struggle with this. I think the first step to breaking bad habits would be replacing them with new ones that are in alignment with our values. We need to remind ourselves what is really important to us. For example, if we value being healthy, we need to choose nourishing food that satisfies us with self-respect. Aspiring to lose weight quickly in order to feel happy and attractive are just emotional wishes that are often not in alignment with our values because of the actions we take to get there. And step number 2 to breaking bad habits is looking at long-term benefits rather than instant gratification. We need to remind ourselves what is more important: to feel good in this moment and then feel bad in the long run, or the other way around. Just imagine you want to buy a car, but every time the money hits the bank account, you will spend it right away for instant gratification, which means that unless you look at the long-term benefits, you will either never be able to buy a car or it will take a really long time. And step 3 to breaking bad habits is creating new ones that are pleasurable by repetition. We first start developing bad habits because they give us some kind of pleasure and satisfaction. So when we get in a habit of eating salty, sugary or fatty foods, our brain associates that with a feeling of pleasure. And by repetition, this information is then stored in our brain and becomes automated. So next time we feel bad, we automatically reach for that kind of food to help us feel better, and we do this every single time. So then instead of hunger, our emotional state triggers the need to eat, and then this repetition becomes a habit that seems impossible to break. So it is important to create new habits that are pleasant and repeat them often until they become automated. Creating a new habit might take approximately 4 weeks depending on how often we repeat this new action. And step number 4 is understanding what triggers our bad habits. If we are in a habit of not eating all day and then binging at night, it is most probably triggered by not taking care of our needs. If we fail to prepare, we prepare to fail. So sometimes, simply by getting more organized and making sure that we fuel our body throughout the day, we will be able to change this binging habit at night. And step number 5 is being mindful and curious and changing one step at a time. On an intellectual level, we know exactly what we should or shouldn't be eating. But because it is rewarding, we have a hard time breaking these habits. We try really hard to control our actions, but unfortunately, as soon as we get emotional, it's like our brain switches off and these automated responses take over. And that is why it is so important to be mindful and curious. So instead of forcing ourselves to change our bad habits or fighting the urges, we just need to get curious about what happens if we don't follow through one moment at a time. If we restrict ourselves by going cold turkey with an all or nothing attitude, then we are more likely to fail. But if we slowly reduce the frequency of our bad habits and replace them with new ones one step at a time, then we are more likely to succeed. For example, let's say that you are in a habit of eating sweets and chips after dinner. So the first step of breaking this habit would be replacing these snacks with something that's nourishing, tasty and satisfying, and that's in alignment with your values. So for example, you could have some Greek yogurt with mixed berries and some nuts and seeds, or veggie chips or popcorn. You would also have to make sure that you've been eating throughout the day and that your dinner is satisfying. And think about the long-term benefits of your current choices instead of being instantly satisfied. And then get curious and see what would happen if you didn't have any snacks at all tonight. Perhaps you could have a cup of tea and see if that might be enough. And that way you will be able to let go of the old habits and create new ones. So rather than giving in, restricting or committing to a diet, just get curious about how would you feel if this time you did something different. And you'll be surprised that more often than not, you will not have any desire to have what you are used to having. As soon as we understand that this is not about restriction and that we can have whatever we want, we will not want it anymore. Mindfulness is just about being really interested in what is going on in our body and mind at the present moment. Being curious is rewarding. So this interest to observe ourselves is supported by curiosity, which is naturally rewarding and it feels good. So we can replace the old reward for a new one simply by being more curious. And what happens when we get curious? We stop for a moment and then we wait to see what happens next. And then we start noticing things that we didn't see before, like our emotions appearing out of nowhere, making us feel a certain way for a moment, but then they go. And then we realize that we can actually manage these emotions without having to reach for food, alcohol, or cigarettes. And this is how we replace the old fear-based reactive patterns for new, mindful, and objective ones. And this might seem really simple to overcome really bad habits. However, studies show that mindfulness and curiosity is twice as effective as traditional forms of therapy. And finally, step number 6 is getting help and support from those who have succeeded breaking their bad habits. If breaking your bad habits seems really overwhelming, then find a coach or a friend who could help and support you along the way. There are things that you might be able to figure out on your own, but then there are things that you might be stuck with for a while. So if you're in a place where you are sick and tired of repeating the same bad habits and you are ready to change, then get some help to help you move forward faster. I hope you found this video useful. And if you need more specific strategies that you can implement to help you change your eating habits, you can click on a link below. Here I talk about how to overcome emotional and binge eating and get in shape without dieting. At the end of that training video, you will also be able to schedule a free strategy call with me where we can talk about your specific goals and if I can help you achieve them. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, click on a like or share, or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel for more helpful tips on how to live life with balance and peace. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more training videos on how to overcome emotional eating and achieve balance forever.